Well, with last week's atrocious performance out of the way, welcome back to Sealed Only Sunday, or Sealed Only Season 2, or Sealed Only Escape from the Virtual World. You pick your name. This week, we are approaching the end. This is, if my calculations are correct at the very least, the third to last episode of the series. Yeah, it's actually coming to a close. To be honest, the challenge has been incredibly fun this time around. Even if the entire goal wasn't to build a competitive deck of any sort, it's been really interesting playing around the restrictions that I posed on myself for this series. It's been weird. I don't really have any other word for it. Having to exercise my creative skill to the utmost just to make things go around has been fun. Which is why it's possibly coming back for the new season. But regardless of that, this week we have a bunch of Patron Activations. Yet again, we've got 4 of them. J-Chip has activated Phantom card, giving us the 3rd copy of Big Rock Go Burr, Nibiru. Danish Chris has activated the Patron Pact, giving us Brothers of Legend in the shop this week. That's interesting. Bosque has activated a Double Down, which, you know, you'll get to see during the duels. And Sky Brigade Zooey has activated Gift of Wealth and given us 4,000 DP to our coffers. With that out of the way, though, I also did make a sell box last week, but forgot to put it on screen, so you will see it right over there, and we will be adding that amount to our total as well. That, plus the DP gained from the Pact of Wealth, or Gift of Wealth, plus our weekly income is going to put us at 16,065 DP. Let's head over into the store and see if we can't fix up the final few pieces we need. And back to the shop we have gone. This week is very interesting. I say this almost every week, I feel, but that's because we have so many places where options are available that it's kind of worth saying it. The shop, to your unwatchful eye, might look absolutely terrible. Fusion Enforcers, Raging Tempest, Circuit Break, all of these sets are really, really bad in just a general sense. Even Shining Victories is not exactly a great set, and neither is Blazing Vortex, to be fair. However, Blazing Vortex has access to Tri-Brigade Kit, which we know is one of the final cards we need to actually build a proper Tri-Brigade list. There are still a few other missing pieces, but having Kit would allow us to actually construct a deck at the very least that's playable to some degree. So I think Blazing Vortex is one of the pickups we have to do today, and we have to attempt to get at least 2 kits, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's arguably better than nothing. Then we have Brothers of Legend, which has been put there by Danish Chris, which actually has a couple of cards in it that are really, really good for us. Namely, it has access to Gadarla, which is the kaiju that we really want to have going forward, as we usually lack a way to get out of really big boss monsters. And Uninterrupted Kaiju Slumber is also in there, which is just basically a board wipe that summons kaijus. But more importantly, Forbidden Droplets. It is one of the only sets that has access to Forbidden Droplets, and that would be outstanding. As a side thing, it also has Starlight Dragoon and Red Eyes Fusion, meaning if we pick them up, we have access to both of the big bungus daddy monsters that we could possibly summon. Then we also have Ghosts from the Past. A lot of people shit on this set, and I guess for good reason, but in our case, it actually has access to the Time Thieves, and the Time Thieves is one of the best rank 4 decks we have access to. And I'm really considering doing it because we have almost every card we need to construct the Phantom Knights list. Or, well, the Phantom Thieves list, if you will. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend 4,000 DP on Blazing Vortex, giving us 20 packs, hopefully at the very least giving us 2 kits. I think it's a super rare. It should be fine. Then we're also going to buy 20 packs of Brothers of Legend, because having the chance of Forbidden Droplets is just way too good to pass up at this stage of the series. If we can get 1 more copy, or even 2 more copies, that could be massive. So let's go ahead and do that. And then for the last of our budget, let's buy 7 boxes of Ghosts from the Past, just so we can try and pick up a Time Thieves core, because if we get it, we actually have some massive ideas going forward. With that out of the way, pack opening time. Alright then, here we are again, and we are going to open 61 packs today. We're starting with Blazing Vortex, 20 packs. We're looking for Tri-Brigade kits specifically. Warrock Orpus, Amuja Kabadu, Ancient Warriors Whatever, Springan's Pidor, Springan's Captain Sargas, Icy Breeze Refrain, Synchro Transmission, Esfer's Professor Digama, and Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. There are a lot of really bad cards in this set. We're going to be skipping ahead of the commons here because I do believe that Kit is a super. Aminakuji and Angel Statue as a rune is actually kind of interesting if we had any way of playing some sort of trap-based deck. Unfortunately, though, we don't really. Looking at the next one here, we get Greater Polymerization, one of the first cards we opened in this series, and it's absolutely terrible. We have no need for it whatsoever. Right, going for the next one up, Virtual World Oat, Hime 2-2. I don't think anyone in Virtual World plays 2-2, so that's unfortunate. Looking at the commons again, we get nothing interesting, and our rare is S-Force Orfist. Honestly, if the S-Force were any better, I might have considered building a deck out of them. They're kind of interesting. Right, here we go again. Armed Dragon Thunderbolt again. We also got Heavy Metalfuls Amalgam, which is interesting. Commons hold nothing interesting, and moving on to Spriggan's Ship Explorer. I actually like the Spriggan's Explorer, is really interesting, but to build a Spriggan's deck, we'd need so much extra stuff that I don't think it's possible. Machina Uncospar is actually kind of interesting if we do go back to the Machinas, because it does have some niche uses. And then we get Wind Witch Chimes as our super. No thank you. Going for the next one here. Commons have nothing interesting yet again, and Metalfoes Vanisher. We're not playing Metalfoes, unfortunately. More Metalfoes in the common slots here. Going for the super rare is Dragoonity Knight Gormfopar. I've never seen this Dragoonity, actually. But Dragoonities are also in Ghosts from the Past. Alright, next one up. S-Force Orfist again. 2 copies. Ooh. Right, here we go again. S-Force Platina. I actually really like the name Platina. It's funny as hell. Good play on words, Konami. Right, here we go again. We need only one minimum. Fabled and Wraith. Oof. If we can see one kit, we are in the gold here, but so far, we get ourselves a Sacred Tree Beast Hyperton. This is the replacement for VFD, some people say, but I'm not seeing it. VFD was way too good. Anyway, here we go again for Wind Witch Diamond Bell as an ultra rare. Ooh, if we had a package of Wind Witches, we might have been able to do that. Anyway, next up. Wind Witch Freeze Bell. Speaking of Wind Witches, unfortunately, it's not the starter. Amuyakayi, another Spring to Thingy. Armed Dragon Thunderbolt, 3 copies of a super rare we don't want. We might not actually see a kit in the series, meaning we are screwed. Another Hypertron. We basically have 2 more chances at seeing it here, and if we don't, we may have to shelf this idea. There is another Orifist, and for the final pack of Blazing Vortex, it's looking like there will not be a Tri-Brigade deck this season. Since we don't have access to kit now, and there's only a few episodes remaining, seeing this pack happen again is going to be incredibly rare. And since we don't have kit, one of the main ways of actually doing the Tri-Brigade combo, we might just have to scrap it entirely. I don't think it's going to be possible to play, meaning we now have to make some serious changes because we also scrapped a part of our Chaos list to get money for this episode. Regardless of that, we're going into Brothers of Legend, 20 packs, let us begin. Erda the Heavenly Squire, Shooting Star Dragon, Ice Barrier, number 39 Utopia, and Performapal Curry Bowl. Now, number 17 Leviathan Dragon Starlight Special Rarity Thingy, that's at least cash for the money pile. ZW Sylphid Wing, Dollhouse, Shooting Star Dragon, and Evil Hero Adjusted Gold. That is a really good card. Kuribi, number okay, we'll take another Starlight Rare Leviathan Dragon, I guess. This is absurd. Utopia, Astraltopia, and another Currybowl. Alright. Red Eyes Fusion, the second to last piece missing to summon Dragoon. Curry Bay, Curry Bow, The Deal of Destiny, and Dragonroid. I forgot Roid's got support. Aisho, Insector Beetle, Apaiza Proper Lion, Shooting Star Dragon, and Laralisk Bird Strike. Bird Strike is really good. Deal of Destiny, Kuribo. Downward Magician is really good because we do have access to Zeus, and Downward Magician is just a free material into Zeus, so that's actually useful. Hyper Rank Up Go, and CS Utopic Sage. Wind Up Arsenal Zenmayo, Cypher Interference, the Icebound God, 5-star Twilight, and Altergeist Pukeri. This is also a card that we wanted to play in Altergeist, so I guess we'll take it. Hyper Rank Up Utopic Force, Void Feast, apply as a Propellion, Right Hand Shark, and D-Force. Pack number 9, we got a Curry B, an Eidos the Underworld Squire, another Downward Magician, a 5-star Twilight, and an Ecall the Zone, which I don't know how to pronounce properly. Hyper Rank Up Magic Whatever, Allure of Darkness, Kuribo, Zexal Catapult, and a Relinquished Anima, which I believe we don't have yet, so that's kind of nice. Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves, Infernal Decatron, Appliancer Conversion, Wind Up Eye Master Whatever, and Grandpa Demetto. No. Insector Exabeetle, Penguin Sword, Thought Ruler Archfiend, sorry, Left Hand Shark, and there's a second copy of Droplets at the very least. This entire opening is not for naught, because Forbidden Droplet is one of the best cards in the game. Having access to another is great. Soulbinding Gate, Noble Knight's Spearholder. Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Red eyes, dark... I don't think he lives in a pineapple, actually. But there he is. This is kind of... It's weird that the pack generator is giving us a lot of Starlight rares, because let's be honest, this would never happen in actual packs. But it is randomized, so I'm going to allow it regardless. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is now our second Big Daddy boss monster. Oh god. We now have the option of summoning either DPE or Dragoon, as we have all pieces required for both, which is actually a massive thing going forward, as this is better in some decks and DPE is better in others. Also, Fossil Dig and CS Utopic Sage again. Utopia. As you can see, this is clearly rigged. What in the hell? Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Finally, we got one of them. Left-hand Sharp and Grapple in the Meadow. Kaiju Slumber is another card I want to pick up, so if we can get one or two more, that'd be great. Zenmayo, Karibu, Rank Up Magic, Urgent Chaos, whatever, and Yowie! Pack 16, we got the Deal of Destiny, Karibo, a fourth one, FA Fighting Spirit, and Speedroid Scratch. Pack 17, we got Silent Sea Nettle, Ida the Heavenly Squire, Karibu, ZS Ouroboros Sage, and number 4 Stealth Kraken. This card is amazing, by the way. We got Insector Exabeetle, Rank Up Magic Whatever, Sexal Catapult, Utopia, and another... Oh, a Stealth Kraken Spawn, actually. Really nice. Then we got Zenmayo, Ragged Gloves, Sexal Catapult, Summon Storm, and Eco the Zone. And for the final pack of Brothers of Legend, that has just basically raised our money value to insane levels... Well, it's lucky we have a sell box where we can drop another one of these, because my god! Okay, well, at the very least, I guess the next episode, which is the final store opening, by the way, is going to be big. Hidden Fangs of Revenge, the Icebound God, and Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray for the final pack of Brothers of Legend. We got the cards we were actually looking for, being, you know, a Droplet. We did not get a single Gadarla. Kinda weird. We got enough money to fund the final opening. Great. Finally, we're going for the Ghost from the Past packs. We have 21 packs total. We're looking for Time Thieves. Cosmo Dark Lady, Gigantes, Metalfoes Gold Driver, Mask Change, and Terror of Trishula is not. Firewall Dragon, Ghost Rare, beep, 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 beep. No one cares. Time Thief Startup, Metalfoes Combination, Meteor Black Comet Dragon, and Metalfoes Stellan. Startup is one of the one cards that we don't want. Madolche Petting Sasor, Fairy Tale Tales, Mind Mole, Lavalval Salamander, and Dragon Knight Draco whatever. Starry Knight Balefire, Starry Knight Arrival, Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon, which we already have, Vampire Vivalde, and Madolche Fresh Sistart. They then got Raid Raptor Tribute Lanius, Backup Sec, Danger Thunderbird is really good, Time Thief Winder is what we're actually looking for, and Dragoonity Draft. Then we got Sun Avalon Dryome, Hieratic Seal of Supremacy, Necros of Aldebra, a Redoer, and a Melifol Silvered. We need to find the extra Time Thief Succeed monster, so we need Double Barrel on Perpetua. Evenly matched! Yeah! Sweet! That's one of the best pulls from this set, being a complete board breaker. We really needed this. Heretic Son of whatever Heopolis, Joya Trayer, Metalfoes Combination, and Dragoonity Oubliette. Then we got Ojama Country, Time Thief Flyback's really good, Necrod of Eberhair, Metalche Pudding Cess, and Mask Change 2. Sun Avalon Bloom. There's a Regulator, one more of those in our playset is complete. Arc Brave Dragon, Armed Dragon level 10, and Dragoonity Whirlwind. Then got Starry Night Arrival, Dragoonity Remus, Sunvine Shrine, Starry Night Starry Dragon, and a third Winder. We then got Starry Night Starry Dragon, Buster Dragon, Metalfoes Mithrium, a second evenly matched. Let's fucking go. Sideboard cards up the wazoo, and Metalfoes Silvered. We're then looking at Heretic Sky of whatever, Nefshadal Genius, Artifact Durandal, Emergency Teleport, and Perpetua. Awesome. So the only one we're missing now is Double Barrel, and then we can attempt to do some shenanigans. Necros of Aldebaran, Starry Night Rail, Galaxy Ice Cipher Blade Dragon, Heretic Scale Overlords whatever, and Starry Night Arrival. Dragoonity Remus, Cosmo Dark Lady, Sunvine Shrine, Metalfoes Counter, and Necros of Aldebaran, blah, blah. Sun Avalon Dryome, Molten Conduction Field, Heretic Seal of Reflection, Metalfoes Oratic, and Necros of Aldebra. Dragoonity Knight Legatus, Photon Thrasher, Shooting Star Dragon TGEX, Sunmine Maiden, and Metaphor's Gold Driver. 4 packs left now. Mass Change 2, Heradic Spheres, Sunmine Thrasher, Time Thief Adjuster we needed as well. I don't think we have a single copy of those. Resonator Call, Time Thief Hack, Recover, Terror of Trishula, and another Perpetua, which is unfortunate. Thestalos the Mega Monarch, Metaphor's Combination, Fairy Tale Tales, Galaxy of Cypher X Dragon, and Dragoonity Whirlwind. Metalche Pudding Cess, Thestalos. There's the double barrel. Awesome. We actually have all of the Time Thief's Exceed monsters. That's great. Sunsei Tweet. And for the last one, Time Thief Chrono Quarter is good. Seal of Reflection, TGEX, Metaphor Silvered, and Ryan Ryu. But oh my god, this pack opening. We are probably still missing a lot of the Time Thief things that I'd really want to see to be able to play the deck. We're missing, I believe we're missing more, of the, yeah, it's one of them. I don't remember which one. We'll find out. But we're almost there in terms of being able to add that as a deck archetype, which is really good because the end board they can make is crazy given that they're uninterrupted. 2 evenly matched is insanely good. Like, we've needed board breakers for so long, and now we finally have 2 of them at the very least. Amazing. Then, on top of that, we also get a second copy of Forbidden Droplet, which is crazy. We've needed that for so long as well as picking up enough money to fund next week's opening, which is the final regular store opening of the series. This has been a good opening. I am pleased with this. Let's see what we're going to be playing for this week. Oh hi, big stupid dumb idiot here. I forgot a Patreon activation last episode. Damn. As it turns out, Danish Chris had actually activated a gift of items that was completely passed over because there was a bunch of Discord issues during the time and he had to swap main accounts and his original post was deleted and there was just a big mess, okay? So we're adjusting it now because this week's deck actually relies on that item existing. So, retcon. We actually received a card of many things last episode that was never noted, which is the wild card for any card in the game. And this week's deck uses that card because I thought I needed it, and I did. So, this week, we're back to playing Scrap Orcust once again, because we've used the card of many items to create a Lib. Lib is the card that allows us to do full combo with Scrap Orcust, now allowing us to fill the board with a couple of really powerful tools, actually. This is about as complete as this deck is going to get, but let's go over it very quickly. We're running 1 Nibiru, because we have Crossout in the deck. 2 World 1, 2 Nightmare, the standard ratios for Orcust. We have the materials for DPE, then we're running 3 Raptor, 3 Recycler, and 2 Golem. Breaking on Golem is the worst thing you can possibly do in this deck, so running 2 is almost mandatory. 1 Crystron Rosenix to work as the combo material for Scrap Recycler. 2 Symbol Skeleton, because again, we are playing Orcust. 1 of every Ghost Girl that's relevant, and 1 Effect Veiler, all 4 targets for Crossout Designator. 3 Fossil Dig, 1 Fusion Destiny, 1 Pot of Prosperity, 1 World Legacy Succession, because it is a combo piece, 2 Forbidden Droplet now, actually, 2 Twin Twisters, 1 Infinite Impermanence, 1 Crescendo, and 3 Strike. Our extra deck is looking just about as it did last time we played this deck, now with the addition of Zeus and Lib for combo pieces, and our side deck actually has a couple of interesting options. We're now running 2 Droll Lock and 2 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, because we're playing DPE, and I'm expecting a lot of other people to be playing DPE. This would allow us to get rid of our opponent's DPE. Probably a good thing to try out at the very least. That's the deck for this week. Let's head on into the final normal Lupine Weekly, and let's see how this goes. Okay then, for the last Lupine Weekly you'll see on screen, this is going to be interesting. We're playing up against Danish Chris for our first round of today because, well, technically our second, I guess, because our first round was a bye. Our actual game first round, aka round 2, is up against Danish Chris's B-Troopers, and we're staring down a DPE immediately. Kind of terrible, considering our hand can do literally nothing to stop DP at this point, so we decide to go for our Pot of Prosperity, banishing 3 and finding absolutely nothing. We have 12 starters in the deck, folks. Not one of them in hand so far. We do have our Orca's Nightmare, though, but that is not going to end up mattering too much as Chris goes ham for the summons, and we decide to actually use Crossout Designator, naming Destiny Hero. Yes, we're getting rid of Celestial to prevent him from drawing 2, hoping that that's going to be enough to stall him out for another turn, so we might actually draw into a starter here. Unfortunately, you're about to find the funniest piece of karma I've ever experienced. Trust me, you will laugh. Look at what we draw. Fuck. My hubris will be the end of me because Fusion Destiny would have actually gotten us out of the situation we were sitting in, but we banished Celestial because we wanted to stop our opponent from drawing cards. Note to self, kids, don't do that. That's apparently not very good. Going into game number 2, though, and our starting hand is much, much better this time around. We actually have access to a starter, meaning we are fair to go for it. We do manage to do a basic full combo now because Chris has nothing to stop us, meaning we are able to go into Scrap Raptor and now for the first time ever making Lib. Lib is going to activate, getting ourselves a World Legacy Succession when we go into Appaloosa to activate said World Legacy Succession. We decide to not activate a negate on the Retaliating Sea here because we don't necessarily care about things being banished, we just have to play around it a little bit differently. We do send a Skeleton, meaning we can now early activate our Wand, so we can go into Galatea, shuffle back the Wand, and get our Babel. Babel on the field, we're now going to go for the Dingirsu, we're going to send to grave, and we're going to get rid of the Retaliating Sea and negate its graveyard effect to prevent him from searching an insect. He does have the Sting Lancer in hand already, though, unfortunately, so he is going to grab himself a B-Trooper Descent, but we are going to go into our Verte Anaconda to finally summon the DPE at the end of our combo and bang some bees. We do destroy the bee when we set 1, of course. DPE doesn't come back. I don't know what the hell happened here, and we were commenting on it like the entire time, because we don't know why DPE did not trigger. You saw his effect activate previously to summon himself back, but I don't know. EDO just had a stroke here, apparently, and, I don't know, missed timing? We don't know. We never realized why this happened, but now we're fighting without a DPE for absolutely no reason. However, his turn is stopped by our summon limit, which is kind of the best thing we could do at the time, as we now only have a Galatea on board, but he is unable to do any B shenanigans simply because he can't put the materials on board. We're able to use our Skeleton to bring back our Dingirsu from the graveyard, attacking Skeleton once again. We get hit with a Lancia, which doesn't end up mattering too much as we just normal summon our Raptor, and he scoops them up knowing he can't get out of it. Now for the all-important Game 3. Our hand is not that good, but we do have a funny card, so we actually activate Winter Cherries for once, and we reveal DPE to banish Chris's DPE. I can't believe I actually got to resolve this card, because it's surprisingly good. I didn't know that this hand trap was actually kind of useful, but I'll be honest with you, Winter Cherries can do a lot of shenanigans. If I held it for a bit longer and waited until he summoned, like, Verte, that could have been really good. You don't underestimate the card when the entire format is built around DPE. Unfortunately, though, we don't have anything in our hand that actually gets us started because we hard drew into Rosenix, which is the worst draw in the deck. We have 2 Golems for a reason, but we only own 1 Rosenix, and running 2 of it's kind of stupid. Unfortunately, this means that Chris is going to be able to just pop off during his turn. He's going for an Axis Kotalker with no buff, mind you. He is literally doing it just to pop a card. Depression. Of course, Doomdozer mills a card as well, but doesn't end up milling an Orcus, then going into Papillion, which we hit with the Ghost Ogre, now forcing him to B-Trooper Descent for a token, which I find to be absolutely hilarious. Unfortunately, we draw Orcus Nightmare for turn, meaning we are just going to set ourselves a token on field, and he draws into Pin. Pin is strong enough to destroy a 200 token, and we're losing to a B-Trooper Descent token. Goddamn. Match number 2, but round number 3, is going to be up against King Diabetes playing Altergeist, and we rarely see this man because he's usually in the higher echelons of the Lupine Weekly, which we never reach. It's weird to see him having, you know, basically gone 1-on-1 at this point, but regardless, he's playing Altergeist, meaning I have done the favor for you and sped up the footage, because these matches get really, really long. Trap decks and control decks in general tend to. We don't manage to do full combo here, but we do manage to get very close to. Unfortunately, we're hit by both Judgment and Strike in the same turn, meaning we're kind of screwed. We're going to drop a Skeleton here just so we have a retort for the turn afterwards. get punched for a bit of damage by Altergeist, bouncing the Babel back, which is perfect for us, allowing us to get back Galatea on the board. And with Galatea on the board, we can basically do whatever we want. We go for the Dingirsu, sending the trap card to the graveyard. We normal summon our Scrap Raptor. Scrap Raptor pops itself, getting ourselves a Scrap Raptor, or not Raptor, Scrap Recycler. Recycler summons itself, throws the Crystron, and at this point, you can probably tell that we have way more damage on board than we need, and he can't do anything about it, so we just summon enough and punch face for game 1. Now, game 2 does not go quite as well. We do have starters in hand this time, but so does he. He goes for the Marionetter's set 4 pass, and we draw an evenly matched. We attempt to activate it, but we get Solemn Judgmented, which is very unfortunate. So we go for the Fossil Dig, going for our Scrap Raptor. Scrap Raptor activation goes off. We go for the Recycler, but Recycler gets hit with an Impermanence, and that basically ends our turn. Draws another Marionetter. Marionetter sets another Protocol, now having 2 of them, and a Torrential Tribute, which is terrible for us. Going into Hextisha, Hextisha gets back the Marionetter effect, which I decide to Ghost Ogre to try and get rid of as many cards as possible. We draw a World One, which doesn't do anything. We go for the Rosenix, we punch face. He does get to draw his Multi-Faker off of this, but we need Hextisha gone because we can't do anything with Hextisha up. Unfortunately, this also means the Crystron Rosenix gets bounced back to our hand, and you can probably guess where this is going. When Altergeist gets a foothold, it usually ends up looking like this. Total control over the board, and we don't really have any special summon extenders, so we just scoop them up and we go for game 3. Game 3, as you can probably see, we open the best hand of all time with 3 freaking Fossil Dig. 3 of them. I couldn't believe it either, but it is what it is. We do manage to full combo here, however, actually managing to get off to a decent enough board, I would say. We do end on DPE as well, so basically our full board is Apollousa, Dingirsu, and Verte, and DPE. My god, my brain just had a brain fart there. Unfortunately, we get hit with an evenly matched, and apparently, if you actually chain to the activation of evenly matched, it doesn't matter because it counts whenever it was activated. Kind of unfortunate because I legitimately didn't know that. We do still get our DPE back though, so essentially we did save 1 card, but I legitimately had no idea that's how that works. We do decide to pop as much of the board as possible here, trying to get us into an advantageous position, but Altergeists are Altergeist, and we'll keep negating DPE until the end of time. We have to strike a Marionetter here, but he does manage to go into Hextisha anyway, forgetting that Orcus Nightmare can't be destroyed by Link monsters. We attempt to get DPE back, but it does get hit by a strike, and at this point we're sitting ducks. We do get for a Symbol Skeleton, but it gets bounced back. We go for the Scrap Raptor, but it turns out we don't have a follow-up to that. Very unfortunate. We also can't negate anything because Protocol is on board, so we're kind of just taking the punches here, and in the end, no luck. Another Solemn Judgment basically seals our fate here because it is enough to negate our Symbol Skeleton in Graveyard, and that is going to be it. For our final round of today, we're playing up against Boss K with the Birds, Flaunderies. Though you wouldn't think it was Flaunderies because I think he got to summon a single bird. In game number 1, he bricks massively hard, and so do we, unfortunately. He manages to get out a Stree eventually, which banishes our Crystron Rosenix, but it doesn't end up doing too much. It's kind of a weird situation, but we draw into Fusion Destiny, the best top deck we could have possibly had. At this point, we just go into DPE, we begin punching face, we get rid of all of the back row in the universe to make sure that he doesn't get to play the video game. At this point, he draws for turn and he draws a Dimension Shifter, we bring back the DPE, and that's gonna be game 1. Game 2, our starting hand is slightly worse this time around, but so is his. He managed to draw an Eaglin, whatever, but we decide to hit it with an Effect Veiler. He then Book of Moonsit to make sure that he does get the effect off, but that ends his turn. We go for the Scrap Recycler, and what do you know? That's full combo, folks. All we need is a Scrap Recycler and not a Nibiru in our opponent's hand, and what do you know? There ain't one. At this point, we do get to go ahead and do our full combo shenanigans yet again. Orcust is just... It's weird. Scrap Orcust is super consistent, but it's super easy to stop. But if it does go off to the races, my god. This time around, though, since we're going second, we're actually going for the Access Code Talker to attempt the OTK. There is an OTK in the deck, and at this point, I think we can do it. However, if I wasn't a stupid dum-dum, we would have done it. But I'm a stupid dum-dum, because right here, you're going to see that I summon Dingirsu into the zone that Access Code Talker is pointing to. If I didn't do that, I would have just been able to make Verte, make our DPE, and that would have been game. But no, I choose to be a stupid dum-dum instead and screw it up. It doesn't matter, though. We have a Crescendo set. We have multiple traps. All Boss K's God is a Book of Moon. We take this one, hands down. God Flaunderies is a bricky deck, man. 2-2 this week. Man. And so ends yet another week of our journey. 2-2 is the score, even though one of them was technically a bye, but we're not exactly going to complain. We actually went up against meta-relevant decks today. It feels kind of weird because we took at least a game off of every single deck we went up against. Honestly, this was kind of a fun week, to be honest. I don't mind losing the way that I did, because it was either due to my own misplays or just being unfortunate enough not to draw removal early. It was really close. If, you know, the tides were in our favor, we could have easily went 4-0 this week. Regardless of that, though, we don't earn that many rewards this week. We earn ourselves a grand total of 150, but we do have a massive sell box this episode, because apparently the pack opener has either blessed us or cursed us with eternal Midas's gold. We have a lot of expensive cards to sell. We have 1 Collector's Dragoon and 4 Astral Rarity, whatever they're called, Leviathans, meaning we end up with 27,500 at the end of the sell box. This, in addition to our rewards this week, puts us at 28,315 DP, awaiting next week, where it's the final shop of the series. This shop is going to be double the size of usual, so we're going to have a lot of options to help finish out the final decks. In addition to that, there are no more Lupine Weeklies being featured on this show, because for the final 2 episodes before the Dragoon Cup, we actually have a couple of special things to do. Specifically, next week, I'm going to be taking on every single supporter possible to see exactly what we can do. Regardless of that, though, if you enjoyed today's episode, do remember to leave a comment down below, click the subscribe button, because YouTube is literally killing me right now, and it'd be real nice of you to increase my numbers. If you enjoy the content to an absurd degree, I suppose, you could always support me by joining the Patreon or YouTube membership down below. If not, then I hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you, and as always, remember to stay safe out there.